Okay, so I had shown you one diagram that if there is a slender member, if you cut it, if this direction is x, one is then y, x is perpendicular to the cross section, normal to the cross section, y is within the plane and z also is within the plane, x, y, z, x is normal. So this plane is defined by x is normal. So last time I had shown you that is a slender member. If you cut it at any cross sections, then you can have, first of all, along 3, supposing it is subjected to some general loading, we do not know, something very general. So if you cut it at any cross section, it will be subjected to 3 forces along the 3 directions, and those are denoted by, I think, what letter did I use for showing the for forces? Did I use F? So Fx, Fxx, Fxy and Fxz. I also must have told you that the notation also is that sometimes we also write simply as Fx, this as Fy and this as 3 forces along the 3 directions. So at any cross section you will find that there will be 3 forces, and also there will be 3 moments about the 3 axes. So there will be okay 3 moments. Yes, so there will be 3 forces and 3 moments, mxx, mxy. These are moments about axis. These are not the linear forces, these are moments about axis. So in general, and this will be mxz. Again, I must have told you earlier that yes, this can also be written as mxx is simply mx, only one subscript will be moment about x axis, then moment about y axis. This one can be written as my and this can be written as mz. So if you want to show yes these are acting on a positive x plane, then the double subscript is needed. If you say it is already a fixed plane, then it is mx, my, mz. Okay, but then the first notation is good because it also defines the plane on which it is acting. Okay, so you have these 3. So we have already now we have taken action so far, that is if this one is nothing but actually loaded. So this we have already covered, actually loaded. This is actually loaded. Yes, so we have taken only one force out of these 6. See, 6 are generalized forces, 3 normal forces and 3 moments about 3 axes. We also call them generalized forces. Moments also are called generalized forces. So total is there are 6 generalized forces acting at any cross section along the length of the slender member, even if it is subjected to a very general load. There cannot be anything more general than this. So we have now taken, we have already discussed, if the body is subjected to only a simple axial force, then what happens? So Fxx, that means only Fxx. Let us say slender member is subjected only to Fxx. So that we have already done, it is already covered. Then we have also done this Mxx. Now that is torsion. That means body is subjected only to a torque about axis. Only thing here we have put a qualification, torque of a circular cross section. When we did for axial load, we did not define the cross section of the rod was general. Here we are saying only for circular cross section, because the theory is simple. So here it is qualified. We are not doing for general cross section, where here it is a general cross section. So these two have been covered. Now let us see. So here one is that the body, the cylinder is subjected only to axial compression or tensile force or a compressive force, and the other one is a torque. Now let us say the cylinder member is such that it is subjected to, this is the cylinder member, it is subjected to transverse load. What is transverse? Transverse to the axis. My axis is x, so load is now acting transverse to the axis. Transverse load. So what happens to the member? Member will bend. We call it now bending word I had not used so far. So it will bend. It will take a curved shape. Now one is in general, because this can act in space. Now we will, to simplify the problem, we will say as if this member is lying only in one plane. Let us say xy plane or xz plane. It is lying in xz plane, this member, and the loads are all applied along z axis. It is transverse to x axis. I am not taking y. Okay, just to simplify the problem. So now we will consider a member again cylinder. Cross section I am not defining, it is a general cross section subjected to transverse load. So what happens to the member? Member gets bent. So now I am taking a member, cylinder member, just to simplify the problem, and having some cross section. For simplicity, I am taking a rectangular cross section, and then this one is x axis, and here see the center line is always drawn with a solid line and two broken lines. Center, if you want to show center line of any member, so it is drawn by a solid plus two broken, again solid, then two broken, small. So that means it is center line. Okay, so this is x axis and this is z axis, and y is going here. Y dimension. Okay, so this is a member whose cross section, now cylinder means cross section has to be small, cross sectional dimension have to be small. So this is L is very large compared to this B, and this is H. So L is very large compared to B and H. That means cylinder. It is also another way to define cylinderness is ratio of two dimensions. I will say that H by L or B by L is very, very small compared to unity. Then also I will say yes, it is slender. So okay, so this is, so I am now this kind of thing you must have seen. This is a member of now it is subjected to, we want to study planar bending first. I don't want to make it general bending in space. I don't want to keep it in xy plane and then study. I am now aligning this to x axis, this one is z axis, y is perpendicular to the x axis here. Now I am saying that B is very small, or I am applying all the loads in the middle of the top. See, if you have this, the cross section looks like this. This you understand, otherwise the cross section will twist. If I am having, this is my loading line. Loading line divides the whole cross section into two parts. So I am applying all the loads here on the top, or even on the bottom I can apply general load. So what happens to this? This obviously this will get bent. So we call this bending. So beam bends. This member is called, if it is supported, because this is a general, I have not yet supported. It has to be supported, otherwise, but this is general load I am talking of at any two cross section, between two cross section. So if you support it, so this is, so I am now, why I am applying loads only on the middle plane, middle vertical plane, this plane. Have you understood or not? Middle vertical plane vertically divides the cross section into two parts. Cross section can be anything, need not be only rectangular, it can be also a general cross section like this. It is called like this, symmetrical about vertical as the cross section. Only thing is that it is symmetrical about, so this is Z and this is Y, X is here, X, Y, Z, so it is symmetrical about Z axis. XZ plane divides the cross section into two equal half, so I am taking that kind of cross section. See, unless you come to the class, you will not understand this. So I am taking a cross section, I am simplifying. What is the reason? Why? And then I am applying my load only in XZ plane. XZ plane. Loads are all applied in the plane of in the plane of symmetry. What is the plane of symmetry for this? XZ plane. Is it not? X and Z is this. So XZ plane divides the cross section into two equal half, and I am applying the load. Now if you apply the load in that, then this horizontal line Y, this will remain always horizontal Y. It will not, so we will say I am avoiding twist. I am ensuring that the beam does not such a member is called beam, by the way. This is a transversely loaded member. A member which is transversely loaded is called beam. Just like we called axially loaded member as what? A column or a member subjected to tensile force. What do you call that? A member, pier. No, pier is subjected to compression. So it is a column. Any member subjected to compression is called column. it is called, any member subjected to tensile force is called tie, T-I-E, tie. You know, when you tie two rods, that member will always be under tension. So it is called tie. And then we have taken member subjected to torque. Is called, the member is what, under torsion. Is there any name we have given? I don't think we have given any particular name. So member is a circular cross section is under torsion. But here, if this member is subject to transverse load, it is slender member, we call such a member as beam. There is a name, B-E-A-M, beam. What is a beam? Beam is a member like this, subjected to transverse load in the plane of, not necessarily in the plane of symmetry, but we are taking for simplicity this plane of symmetry, because we have to develop the theory, okay. So I am taking so that it bends. So now first part is, when the loads are applied, how to compute the reactions. And I am drawing only the plane of symmetry, cross section where, you know, plane of symmetry, so it will look something like this. I am not drawing the width, because every particle in the which direction will have the same displacement, because y-axis is remaining horizontal. Y-axis is remaining horizontal, so this will be like this. X-axis is here. This is x-axis, this is z-axis, and this is y-axis. Y is perpendicular to the cross section. So I have drawn now only the plane of symmetry, not any other plane. Here I need to study only that, because if I know that, I can know any point in the y direction. In y direction, all the displacement will be same. Now this has to be supported. So let me support first. There is one support is called simple support. Two ends are simply put on, you know, there's some kind of minimum support we provide. So what we do, normally we provide one which we call hinge. This is called hinge. That means you have a small pin at the bottom of the beam, and then fix it to the ground. Other one, we provide a roller. This is called roller. This is the minimum. So here the property is this: no displacement in x, no displacement in y, z. Do you agree with me? This pin will ensure that this point will neither move in x direction nor in z direction, but then it can rotate about y axis. This pin will ensure that now my beam can, about this, it can rotate like this, here at this point. So it can rotate about which axis? Y axis. This is the meaning of hinge. A simple hinge or a planar, we call it planar hinge. So this is a planar, H-I-N-G-E, hinge. In the plane XZ, this hinge is there. Pin is, I have put a pin. You know, understand pin? Make a hole, make some, and then put a bolt, you know, and then put the nut. Nut, you understand? Nut and bolt, or simple nail. So nail. So I can make a. So that means at the bottom I will have to make some some engineer, engineering job has to be done. You have to drill a hole and put a nail. So it will behave like this. This one roller means no displacement in Z direction, but yes, free to move in X direction. Here I had said no displacement in X also. Now here it can roll on this plane. So this point can have always a displacement in X direction. Roller is also shown by two diagrams. You have a hinge and then put it on roller like this. So either put a big circle, means it is roller, or this. Both mean the same. This is also a roller, this is also a roller. So it has the, see in this direction, then you will say, some of you will come, sir, this can lift up. Yes, this argument is okay. Yes, it cannot go down, I have put a support here, but then you think of it as putting this on both sides. Even if you are showing at the bottom, you think as if you have put also a roller on the top. So it can neither go up or down. No movement in Z direction. Normally we don't show it like this, we just show it on one side. It is implied that it will not have displacement in. Is it okay? Roller. So this is the simplest type of, this you must have done also in first year rigid body mechanics, engineering mechanics. So this is the simple, so this is, if you support it like this, the idea here is that by this one, and if now it is subjected to a simple load, let us say a load in the center P, capital P, this is in center, L by 2, transverse load, I have applied a transverse load. So then this one will bend like this. Yes, it will. So this will become curved. So we will study this, what is the radius of curvature, etc. If you apply a load, what is the radius of curvature that this will form, because that will be obvious. So we call this, it gets bent, and this phenomena we also say that this is a flexure formula. Bent is flexure. That means some moments are generated inside. Some moments will be created inside. Moments means whose vector will be in which direction? Y direction. Moments, Y, it is not a torque. It is transverse moment. It is a moment. So there is a difference between a torque and a moment. Torque will be about an axis. This one is perpendicular to this cross section. So moment will be, that means if I take the cross section here and here, you will find that this will be subjected to some M and M moment. Now this moment will give you this one will go inside. You know what is cross is shown for inside, and this one will be like this. This moment has a direction coming out of the plane of the paper, plane of the whiteboard or paper. So this will be subjected to moment. So this is, so the beam is under flexure. So this is flexure. Flexure, flexure or bending, both mean the same thing. flexure. Beam is under flexure or beam is under bending. So under transverse load, the beam undergoes a bending phenomenon. Phenomenon is what? Singular. Phenomena is plural. So this is a bending phenomenon. Okay. So first part of this is how to find out the reactions. Under the action of transverse load, how to find out reactions. Yes. So this beam is there. So free body diagram. This was in center. I had a P. So now I am drawing the free body diagram. So there will be some reactions. Now A, this point is, let us say A, this is B, and this one is C. C, you have applied load. Now here we have, so I have cut this. This is a cut section just to the right of A, right of the hinge. This is to the left of the roller. So there is a hinge here. There is a roller here. You have cut it. One is there will be some reactions. So some reactions at this. Now this point is not allowed to move in X direction. So if you don't allow any movement, there has to be a reaction in that direction. Is it clear or not? If you constrain any movement, there has to be a reaction. So let us, that means in X direction, this is X direction. So I will say here, now I will see, there are, in books there are different notations, but I will just tell you. So there has to be a force here in X direction. Because this was a hinge, hinge is not allowed to move in X direction. So there must be a reaction. Similarly, it is also does not allow any movement in Z direction. So there must be a reaction in Z direction. So this is, now what should we show? It is free to rotate about Y axis. Y is here. And this is Z. It is free to rotate. So no torque, no twist, no bending moment. Of course, there is no question of any torque here, but no bending moment, here. No moment will exist because it is free to rotate. Hinge means hinge can rotate like this. So if there is a freedom, there cannot be any reaction. So this point will be subjected to two reactions, and I will call it reaction. There are two, there are R, but point A. Okay. So one will be RA, reaction at RA. This one is AX, and this will be AZ. This is one notation. Other one in many books, and we also, reaction is denoted by the letter of that point. Point is A. So they say why RAX, you are having too complicated notation. So call this as AZ, and this one as, so my reactions are denoted by simply the letter of, by which that point is denoted. So AX, AZ. So you follow anyone which you like, but be consistent, not half-half. That this side you are following this, and other side you are following the other notation. So follow one. Similarly, now this point is not to move in Z direction. So there must be a are B. Now this point is B and direction Z. Again, this point is free to, this is not constrained, this is a roller. Roller means it is free to move in X direction. Since it is free to move in X direction, no reaction. Again, it is free to rotate about this point, so no movement. So only one reaction will be there. So either you call this as B, Z. So you have got P subjected to AZ, AX, then this one. So first part of the problem is how to get the reactions. So if the problem is determinate, you can find out all the reactions. If the problem is statically determinate, and when will this be statically determinate? For any plane problem, how many unknowns and how many equations of equilibrium you have got? What is the matter between three of you? How many? So this is a plane problem subjected to plane load. Everything in the plane X, Z. So how many equations of equilibrium have you got for this? Rigid body mechanics. 3. What are the equations of equilibrium? Plane problem. Plane XZ plane. So everything is lying in XZ plane. So sigma of all forces in X direction must be 0. Sigma of all forces in Z direction must be 0. And third one is sigma of moment about YY axis. YY you write or MY you write. This must be. These are the 3 equations. So since there are 3 equations, you can have only 3 unknowns. You can solve only 3 unknowns. That means, so these are equations of equilibrium 3. Therefore, number of unknowns, if they are that can be solved by this. Will be 3 only, not more than 3. Can it be less than 3? Supposing, yes, you say yes, it can be less than 3. So, yes sir, tell me, you are saying yes, nodding the head, yes, it can be less than 3. How, when will this be less than 3? And if it is less than 3, that means number of unknowns are less than number of equations. When it is possible? Both are rollers. Then, yes, there will be no force in X direction. Okay, that is true, there is no force. But then on a roller, you must have seen then it is free to move in X direction. Your whole beam will be rolling on XY plane. I mean in X direction, in XY plane, XZ plane. It will be just rolling. So is it a structure? A structure is that which is fixed in space. First you must have a real, because what is a structure which can be applied, a body to which you can apply loads without any fear. Now if it is roller, if you by mistake, if you make it inclined, slightly inclined, whole thing will start rolling in one direction. Is it okay? So we don't want, that is not a structure. So 2 rollers will not make a beam a structure. See, the definition of a structure is, or a body in which should have minimum number of constraints is that you have, when you apply the load, it should remain stable. Its position must be fixed. It should not change the position. Roller means today it is here, tomorrow somebody will come and push, put a leg, and then it will go to some other place. So its space is, its definition, in space is already disturbed. So it is not a, so yes, two rollers will give you two unknowns, but then the structure will be unstable. It is not a structure. So it is not a, you cannot apply load. Now, yes, more than 2 is always possible. More than 3 is always possible by making the structure. Supposing I put both pins, both hinges. So 2 here will make it 4. Or I later on clamp it. Tomorrow I will show you. You clamp it. So there will be more reactions. But a minimum number of unknowns that can be solved with equations of equilibrium, that gives you the simplest, minimum number of constraints that will keep the body in a state of equilibrium. So this will keep in a state of equilibrium. One side hinge, other side roller. So you can solve this. So determinate. So you should be able to solve this. You will be able to solve this. I think you must have done these reactions. Now supposing, so this is called simply supported beam. Simply supported beam. We are only considering planar beams, not in space, not three-dimensional motion. They are all limited, or they are in XZ plane. Simply supported beam or SS beam, SS. Next. So can you find out the reactions, please? Yes. Quickly give me the reactions and the direction. First draw the free body. What is the value of RAX, RAY, RAZ? So reactions can be found out. So equations, sigma of forces in x direction. So sigma of Fx, that is not giving me any force. There is no force in x direction, so it is 0. Sigma of y, so sigma of y is no. Sigma of Fx, yes, RAX. RAX, there is a force at point A, so this is equal to, I am having only 1. So that turns out to be 0 in this problem. There is no other force in. Then y, sorry, not y, z. XZ, now I am taking XZ plane. So z direction, so RAZ, at point A is this, plus at C is there is a P, plus RBZ equal to 0. So therefore you get second equation, RAZ plus RBZ equal to minus P. 1. RAX is 0, you have got from the first equation. This has got now, you cannot solve this. So third, make use of the third equation, moment. Now moment about which point? Moment about y-axis. Moment about y-axis 0. But which point? Any point, anywhere in this plane. There is no restriction. Moment about any point. Then we take the point where the maximum number of forces are passing. Why? So that moments of those forces will be 0. So I think most convenient point is A, because there are two forces which are passing. So I take moment about A. So moment about A is 0, and you get here what? P into L by 2. What is the direction of this? Like this, anti-clockwise, plus RBZ into L. Again, this is also clockwise, Any other force? See, you have to have this. Always draw the free body diagram. See, there is no other about this point. So this force, no other force. So this is equal to 0. And therefore you get here RBZ equal to minus P by 2. From here, directly you can get here. Substitute this RBZ here. Therefore, RAZ is equal to minus P plus RBZ is minus, so this will go on this side, so plus P by 2, so minus P by 2. So we have got all the, so now the free body diagram you please show. Yes, if there is a load in the center P like this, then there has to be reactions, 3 reactions. Of course there is no, so this one is 0. Now this one here is like this, P by 2, and this also is negative. Negative means opposing the sign, opposite sign of whatever you have assumed. You have assumed upward, so it has to be. Now this is in a state of equilibrium. Okay? Alright? So first part is always find out the reactions. So free body diagram. Now this one, draw the free body diagram. The beam will bend. So this is okay, I will stop here.